improve your mental fitness. This is Mental Fitness Matters. Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. You are listening to Mental Fitness Matters. I am your host, Tracy Alston, and this is WSIC Radio. I hope everybody is hanging in there this week, trying to find ways to thrive through this crisis. As you guys know, the mental health and the mental fitness of our country is being tested right now more than ever. That's why I am very, very excited about today's show and today's guest, as we will be talking about stress and how to stress less during this time. Before I introduce Dr. Ashcraft of Chirolife Wellness Center in Mooresville, I want to provide you guys with a little bit of information on the latest polls released by the American Psychiatric Association. On March 25th, they released a poll that referenced that the COVID-19 has had a tremendous impact on the mental health of Americans. 48%, which is nearly half of Americans, are anxious about the possibility of getting coronavirus. 62% are anxious about the possibility of a loved one getting the virus. 59% report that they're currently feeling the impacts, whether that's behaviorally, whether it's sleep, emotionally. 57% are concerned about the financial impact that this crisis will have. They're not even sure right now where we are with this. And so the numbers here are staggering. The research is showing that stress and anxiety caused by the pandemic is having an effect on people's physical and mental health. So again, I think today, talking about stress and focusing on stress management is going to be very, very important for today's show. My guest for today, he is a wellness expert that brings so much knowledge and expertise to the table around stress management and taking care of his patients physically, mentally, and emotionally. Dr. John Ashcraft is a chiropractic doctor and owner of Chirolife Wellness Center in Mooresville, North Carolina. He's been practicing for over 12 years.
Oh gosh, 19 now.
Wow, 19. Yeah. Practiced for 19 years. That's awesome. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to him. He's a doctor of chiropractic, earned his degree from New York Chiropractic College, and he's currently the only active member in North Carolina on the American Academy Spine Physicians, which is an elite group of chiropractic physicians and neurosurgeons who work together to treat neurological disorders. Dr. Ashcraft, welcome to the show, buddy. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you here.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Very excited to be here. So,
tell our audience a little bit about yourself. This is the Mental Fitness Matters show. So all of our guests that are tuning in, we really are talking about mental health, mental fitness. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, when it comes to mental fitness, I really think it's hard to tease apart the mental and the physical and the spiritual side of things. So it's all braided and intertwined together, but right now, we've been talking a lot about that sort of stuff in our office.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on right now, I think, mental fitness, which to me is having your cognitive and emotional health kind of ready for battle. So mental fitness right now with our current state is a challenge for everyone. I mean, the external stressors are coming at us so quickly, and it's changing by the minute. So it's really hard to try to balance some of those things. So how I personally try to keep mentally fit, if you will, is to take a proactive approach. So I think it's easier if you challenge the fringes of your comfort zone. I was a wrestler my whole life, all the way through college. I've run multiple marathons at a pretty high level. To challenge myself physically, I think my staff and my patients would, my patients over here, would hopefully agree that I challenge myself to be a fantastic physician. Hopefully my wife and children and family would say I challenge myself to be good at those things as well. Taking a proactive approach, really getting to the fringes of your comfort zone really helps you to prepare for anything that might come your way, even if it's something that's unforeseen. And obviously, I'm feeling stressed right now as well, just like everybody. My stressors are probably a little different. Chiropractors in the state of North Carolina and many other states are considered essential right now as healthcare providers in this
Absolutely.
environment. So you look at all the people on the front lines, which are your healthcare providers, your police officers and your firefighters, and people who potentially are putting themselves at a higher risk to be able to save other people. And that's been something that I've had to juggle every single day when I get up and put my shoes on and go to work to serve our community, and my staff, they're in that same boat with me.
Absolutely.
We talk about these things every day.
And thank you for what you do, and thank you for putting yourself out there every single day. You're exactly right. When you talk about being a provider in the healthcare field, you're on the front line of everything that's going on right now. So thank you as well for showing some of the strategies that you take to take care of your own mental health and mental fitness.
Sure.
Because you're exactly right. Everybody right now is feeling this thing at some level or another.
Sure.
And so being proactive is huge. And when you think about, Chirolife Wellness, tell us a little bit about your practice, what you guys do, who your clients are.
Sure. So for the first half of my career, I was really in more of a sports medicine atmosphere, working with orthopedic surgery. We were affiliated with neurosurgery, a group of PTs at one point. And so I was treating a lot of musculoskeletal stuff, which I loved. I would never want to undo all that experience. But there's a whole other side to chiropractic that most chiropractors don't really promote, unfortunately, which is the wellness side of things. And it was interesting. I was in a seminar one time a couple years ago with a wellness chiropractor who was instructing, and he said, everybody in here, raise your hand if you're a wellness chiropractor. Every single hand went up. And as he teased apart the threads, and I understood more what he was doing when he asked that question, he really was sort of compartmentalizing chiropractors into two groups by saying you have musculoskeletal chiropractors focused on neck pain, back pain, and headaches. And I think that at this point, most people would give us that. If they don't know much about what we do. But there's the other side of that is the wellness side, where we're really focused on a whole different part of the nervous system, from the sensory nerves, which are for feeling, and the motor nerves, which are for muscle function, and that's the autonomic nerves underlying. So kind of the automatic ones in the background that control your organs, glands, and blood vessels. And so when you have a roadblock in your nervous system, which comes from stress, and I'll circle back to that in a second because that's really the main reason why we're here, it overwhelms your nervous system and it throws roadblocks in there. So what chiropractors do is we go in there and we adjust, and when we perform an adjustment, we remove the interference and the imbalance from that nervous system, allowing the body to heal itself and function at its optimum potential. So chiropractors and other doctors really don't heal anything. We just facilitate the body's natural healing process. Yeah. And that's a very important thing for people to understand. So, right now in this environment, when we have a foreign pathogen that's attacking our whole globe, and nobody has acquired immunity to it yet because we've not been exposed to it. So we have to rely on our innate immune functions. And so if you have a lot of stress in your life, that will actually suppress your body's ability to function and heal. So the three different types of stress that really overwhelm our nerve system are physical stress, and that's where you have an actual injury at the motor unit. So physical stress can come from overactivity. It can come from repetitive movements and motions. It can come from something macro, like walk out in front of a school bus or trip over Sparky's leash and smash your face. Those things are going to cause things that weren't there, a couple minutes ago. But moreover, a sedentary lifestyle. So if you get zero activity and you sit all day, that's actually more injurious to your motor units at the cellular level than some of the other things. So
let's stay right there for a moment. As you're talking about being sedentary, and when we think about where people are right now during this crisis, there's a lot of people that are supposed to be staying at home if you're not in that healthcare world. So now people have gone from this active lifestyle, going out every single day, to being at home and sitting, right?
Correct.
So talking about that stress pile up and build up, being aware of what that could feel like in your body, what that can feel like from a brain state. So that self-awareness, guys, if you're listening here now, is just being mindful that now that you are at home more often, more than you were before, it's very easy for stress to build up, and you kind of have some of the physical effects of that.
Yep, exactly. And then The next one is, and understand physical stress when we're talking about real time, adding physical stress through a sedentary lifestyle because of the current situation we're in.
Right.
But when I start teasing apart people's consultations and trying to really get to the bottom of what's causing some of these things, I'm asking questions about physical stresses that happened maybe when you were 5 years old. You know, what was the first time you fell off a bicycle, and or you took a concussion when you were 8 years old playing football. And these things accumulate over time, and they really put impressions into your nervous system that create who you are. And then, so we really like to look back as far as we can. So moving on to the second stress, which is chemical stress. Anything that goes in or on your body that's not a nutrient is potentially neurotoxic, and it will chip away at your body's ability to adapt to its environment. And so, you know, right now when we just got through the holidays and everybody was just rah-rahing about, you know, making some good, healthy, clean choices again, and now we're all cooped up and trying to figure out how to eat, and our whole lives have been flipped upside down. And so,
Right.
you know, it's, and a lot of more people are drinking more alcohol. I just heard that yesterday. The things that we pile into our refrigerator and freezer and pantry right now are maybe some of the things that will last a little longer, and typically they're not going to be fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right.
So we're shifting what we're putting in our bodies right now, and that's going to impact us from a chemical level as well. And then
what are some of those things, as you would say, as you're kind of dealing and working with some of your clients that are coming in? Because you're right, people are now, we're going grocery shopping, you're seeing the shelves kind of empty, but a lot of times that could be junk food that everybody's stocking up on as you're watching Netflix.
Exactly.
People are grabbing the things that may not be the most beneficial for the brain and the body.
Yep.
What types of suggestions are you making to your clients now as they're coming in with some of these chemical-related stressors in terms of how to help with that?
Well, we're just having a similar discussion to what we're having right now. I think, you know, for the most part right now, I have a pretty clean population anyways.
Yeah.
So if you were a fly on the wall in my office and you saw, you know, the 70 people that come in and out every day for care, you would probably say that by and large they're a population of people who think a little healthier and eat a little healthier. But, you know, we're all at risk during the stressful times.
And now more than ever, it's the best time to be very, really mindful of what we're consuming, how we're consuming it, everything that's going on, because we are in a different environment right now. You're at home, you're consuming more foods, you're watching more TV, you're sitting more, not as active, so all these things matter.
Yep.
Dr. Ashcraft, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to have this conversation about stressing less during crisis, and we're going to talk through some tips on what you guys can be doing right here, right now, while you're in the comfort of your own home to manage the health of you and your family. You are listening to the Mental Fitness Matters Show. I'm your host, Tracy Alston. I'm with Dr. John Ashcraft of Chirolife Wellness Center in Mooresville. We'll be back.
This is News Talk, 105.9 Lake Norman, 100.7 Greater Statesville, WSIC, where Kannapolis turns first for breaking news and severe weather alerts.
Hey, this is Tracy Alston, the host of the Mental Fitness Matters Show on WSIC. If you are a parent out there and your child is struggling with focus and attention in the classroom or at home, we may have a solution for you. At New Mentality, we are able to see what the brain is doing in real time and provide solutions for you and your family without the use of medication. Contact us today at 704-799-1270.
Hey radio family, it's Margaret Beveridge from the WSIC News Desk. UNC TV and the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction are partnering to support school-aged children learning at home by providing free curriculum-informed over-the-air content that is widely accessible to students, especially those with limited or no internet access. For more, visit unctv.org. Senator Vicky Sawyer thanked a local nail salon today on Facebook. Andy Tran and his family at Nails of America in Byers Creek Shopping Center in Mooresville donated gloves, alcohol, and masks. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, a time to act collectively to raise awareness and empower people across the nation to play a vital role in making great childhoods happen. Our efforts to raise awareness and engagement and impact positive change in this year are as vital as ever. For more, visit Scan of Iredell on Facebook. Stay tuned to WSIC through the day for more. I'm Margaret Beveridge from the News Desk.
Pain or no pain, your wisdom teeth should be checked every year. Some wisdom teeth can become impacted by never breaking through the gum, which can lead to cysts, tooth decay, and gum disease. Find a surgeon near you for a complete examination at myoms.org.
Join me, Darren.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Mental Fitness Matters Show. I am your host, Tracy Alston, and I am with Dr. John Ashcraft of Chirolife Wellness in Mooresville. And today we are talking about stress less during crisis. I want to just kind of pick up where we just left off. You were going through 3 different types of ways that stress kind of have an impact.
Yeah, so we just talked about physical and chemical stress. And then, of course, I saved emotional stress, which is a large part of what we deal with. I mean, the more research that comes out there, I actually just saw a study here a couple months ago, maybe now, where they compared the effects of anxiety and stress compared to smoking and obesity across, I think, 10 or 12 different points in terms of health markers. And the stress and anxiety actually was much worse than people with or people that smoked that were obese in terms of their overall health. So you cannot overstate rather the importance of managing stress in your life. So emotional stress, when we're asking about emotional stress in our office, again, we want to go way back. We don't want to just talk about the stressors that are impacting us right now, because that stuff accumulates as well. So think all the way back to, maybe you had a childhood incident that's burned into your brain forever, or you went through a financial crisis, 12 years ago, and you're now kind of having to deal with that all over again, potentially. Or maybe you lost a parents when you were a kid, or you went through a terrible divorce, or any number of things. But that stuff accumulates over time, and then it just chips away at your body's normal adaptive response mechanisms until problems start to show up. And many times these things are cooking under the surface for sometimes decades before any symptoms show up.
Absolutely.
And so, in our office, the testing that we do is really geared towards testing the things that you can't feel. It's sort of, people, I feel great. Okay, so are you going to skip your mammogram and colonoscopy and prostate exams? Well, of course not. Well, why would you do them if you feel great? Got it. And so it's like an aha moment for a lot of people. Oh, so I got to check my neurological health and make sure that there's balance there as well. So what we were talking about there just a little bit during the break was kind of figuring out how to deal with some of these things. So there's actually a talk that we do in the community that I'll try to give a couple little bullet points from. So when we're talking about stress management and how do you do those things, well, the first thing is you want to identify your stressors and then reduce or eliminate them. Well, if they're external stressors and they're being done to you, sometimes that can be very difficult.
Right.
All of us are going through, as a society, this same fears right now due to this pandemic that's got everybody, whipped up for good reason. And so, that's an external stress. You can't just say, well, I'm going to eliminate that now.
Right.
It would be nice if we could switch that off. So moving to the second part of that is you need to increase your bucket size. And so your ability to withstand emotional assaults comes from a whole variety of things, such as sleep. Sleep is absolutely essential.
Crucial.
We can talk about that probably for a whole show. Nutrition, for sure. We just kind of touched a little bit on that there as well. Exercise, all those things have been shown to really help to boost immune function. And then, of course, chiropractic care. So when we're talking about the chiropractic side of things in our office, we do take a good look at the nervous system and check for imbalances and interferences neurologically through our testing processes and technology in the office.
And I think what you're talking about here, too, is really kind of choosing what you can control, because you're exactly right. There's so much external noise that's going on right now that's causing people to feel out of control. And the best way to get yourself centered and grounded and back in the driver's seat is to focus on what you can control.
Exactly.
And those things that you just mentioned, sleep, really. So being mindful of getting a consistent pattern and schedule around your sleep. Just because you're not up going to school physically or up going to work physically, creating a schedule around that you would wake up at the same time that you would normally get up, get dressed as if you were going to school or going to work, and create that same consistent pattern with bedtime, because sleep is crucial and critical to our performance. And if we're not sleeping well, we're not able to kind of wash away and restore and rebuild from the things of the day before. So making sure that we are creating some normalcy within our own lives of the things that we can control.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
I love that.
Perfectly said.
I think another good thing we can actually add to this is really kind of getting creative with it's springtime, right? And so create something for your family, whether you're getting up and doing some spring cleaning. There is a lot of organizations out here right now in need. There's a lot of organizations in need. So if you guys can make a family activity, whether you're just getting up, cleaning some stuff up, you might find some things that you can kind of give away.
Yes.
Right now is a really good time to look out to your local communities to figure out what the needs are for right where you serve. And as you guys are cleaning as a family, this could be a way to de-stress. You can have conversations, you can laugh about certain things that are going on, but there's certain organizations out there that I will mention at the end of this show that are in need of different items. So that might be another good way to kind of de-stress there.
Yeah, I'll actually give you one right now. It's
Yeah.
called Chirolife Wellness Center.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we it looks like we may be mandated to start wearing masks leaving our homes, whether we're going grocery shopping, going to the physicians, and that's everybody. So I'm not sure if that mandate will come or not, but
Yep.
we've asked a couple of our patients who I know are heavy into crafting and sewing and things of that nature, quilting, and they're actually making us homemade masks.
That's huge.
So we're probably going to have a need for that. I'm not sure how many each one of them will be able to produce, but we'll probably need a couple hundred masks. So there are actually, excuse me, there are patterns you can get online, I think probably Google or Pinterest or Facebook or wherever you choose, and you can sew those things up and drop them by our office. That would be absolutely spectacular.
That is huge. How can they find you?
We're
Chirolife
at Chirolife Wellness Center.
Brawley School Road?
Brawley School Road. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right in Mooresville.
Yep. Another organization that's in need, if you guys are available on Saturday, April 4th and Saturday, April 11th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., the Lowe's YMCA, they are providing local support to their community members. They're doing a curbside drop-off. So they are looking for items like canned goods, dry goods, school supplies. So whether that's paper, coloring books, workbooks, markers, crayons, cards, memory games. They're looking for any items that they can provide to the community members. So they are doing a curbside drop-off this Saturday, April 4th, and next Saturday, April the 11th from 12 to 2. So get creative during this time. There's a lot of ways that we can begin to look at de-stressing, focusing on what we can control, managing your sleep and your nutritional habits, taking a look at what you are bringing inside of your home. If you're going out to the grocery store, making sure you're kind of staying on the outside. You can go inside a little bit. If you're staying on the outside of the grocery store, picking up things that are going to refuel and recharge your body.
That's great.
That's awesome, guys. Dr. Ashcraft, you have been amazing. I would like to also give you guys one more tip. Get uncomfortable. I think this is a great time because we've all been kind of put into situations right now for the unexpected. Be okay being a little uncomfortable, because with this type of change, with this immediate need to do something different, comes greatness. This is where your creativity comes from. So just because your back may be against the wall right now, don't look at this as a setback. Begin to change your mindset as this is something that can set you up for the thing that you're supposed to be doing in your life. So really get seated and kind of figure out what your goals are, what your gifts are, what your talents are, because this standstill, this moment of pause in the world may be that opportunity that's pushing you out there to do something a little different. You may be afraid to do it, but don't be afraid to jump. Now is the time. Why not? I'm seeing a lot of creativity on social media. So many innovative people out here getting creative with online businesses, online strategies, online marketing. It's fun to watch.
I think it's going to change our society.
Absolutely.
I'd like to think that we're, as a people, strong enough where it's going to change it for the better. I think it's very uncertain for a lot of people in a lot of different ways right now. And it's also been, I think, challenging for me because I've been able to get up and go to work every day, and
Yeah.
as my wife put it, she's been staying home with the kids, and she works outside of the home as well typically. So, I'm trying to be empathetic as well to other people's plight. I actually have an escape, I get to go serve every day.
Well,
so
we appreciate your service.
thank you
and Dr.
so much.
Ashcraft, well, thank you so much for being here. Guys, make sure if you're looking for some stress management, go see him on Brawley School Road, Chirolife Wellness. Thank you for all you do. I want my
Tracy.
community to shine bright like the stars that you are. Mental Fitness Matters. Tune in every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. for more tips, tools, strategies, and solutions that will help you reach your peak mental fitness. My name is Tracy Alston, and you've been listening to Mental Fitness Matters.
News.